Now it's time for the Plan Commission.
Bill, Steve, thanks for your service. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll call the meeting to order and...
I'll take that.
You received the minutes of the previous meeting via email. Are there any additions or corrections?
I make a motion to approve the minutes as distributed.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion's been made and second to approve the minutes as emailed. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And we have the proof of publication. It includes both the zoning appeals board and the plan commission in the proof, so we need to make that a matter of record. Tim has it here, so...
I'm sorry.
You guys down there?
I actually saw it in the paper. I'll make a motion to approve proof of publication.
Okay, motion's been made to make it the proof of publication matter of record. Is there a second?
I second.
Okay. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Made a matter of record. Next item is the election of officers, so I'll turn it over to City Attorney, Board Attorney, Tim Baker.
Okay, well, let me bring everybody up to speed on this. If you recall, a couple years ago when Nate Rimslag was hired as our city engineer, by statute that required us to reorganize the composition of the Plan Commission and expand it from 7 to 9 members. The statute requires that if you have a park board and if you have a city engineer, then the composition of the board or the commission changes in two respects, both in terms of who appoints membership positions, and secondly, the fact that your city engineer and a representative from the park board are now to be members of the Plan Commission. Okay? We have not filled the city engineer position. So the issue then becomes, does our Plan Commission remain at 9 members, or do we revert back to a 7-member commission? I've spoken with the mayor. We've taken a look at what other communities do. There are some communities who have city civil engineers. There are some that don't. And they oftentimes just contract out those services when needed. There are some who have a, quote, city engineer, but that person is not a civil engineer. Those that do have that situation apparently still have a 7-member commission. So, as much as I don't want to do this, my advice to you is you probably all need to tender your resignations so that the mayor and city council can reappoint the 7 of you the way the statute requires for a separate 7-member Plan Commission. And then we will have our organization at the next Plan Commission meeting, which hopefully we can schedule for a couple of weeks, and if we can get the notice in, and then we'll have you sign your certificates of appointment. It may not be, I don't know if Phyllis was able to get the appointments ready. Did she? Okay. So the plan is for everybody to resign effective today. Then tonight at the Plan Commission meeting, or at the City Council meeting, the mayor will make his appointments. The City Council will make their appointments. The intent is for the 7 that are currently on the Plan Commission to remain on the Plan Commission. It's just that we won't have a park board representative or the city engineer on it any longer, and we'll go back to the way it was prior to a couple of years ago. Yeah. Who's, okay, I've got Steve.
The appointments, you three...
Tyler's missing.
You two...
Tyler, okay.
Would all be mayor's appointments. Bill would be an appointment from the Board of Works, which we really can't do tonight because you and I are the only two there, and you can't vote, so Tyler is the other, he's a council appointment. But there's, 5 mayor appointments, and 1 Board of Works, and 1 council appointment.
What was the planning commission appointment?
No, he's not.
The other way around.
This is the planning commission.
I'm on the
Plan
BZA.
Plan Commission to the BZA.
Right.
Yeah. It's really as clear as mud. And why they do it the way they do it, and why it makes such a big difference when you go from 7 to 9 or back in terms of who appoints it, I'm not sure why they choose to do it the way they do, but that's the statute and we have to abide by it. The issue becomes simply this: if we have a Plan Commission take some type of action and that decision is challenged in court, the threshold question is the Plan Commission validly organized? Because if it isn't, then the action taken is invalid. So we got to make sure that we are correct in how we are set up so that we don't get into that kind of a situation if we get into court.
Everyone's term would slightly staggered. It's like Dennis, you were just reappointed this year, yours would expire in 4 years. Someone would likely expire at the end of this year, next year, 19. So that wouldn't change. It's just that we're going to have to...
And we really learned the importance of this during both Walmart and when the county was trying to relocate their building. The meetings became more about how we were organized and how the I's were dotted and T's were crossed than about the information that should have been talked about. So that's why we've taken this step of making sure that we are organized correctly so we don't get challenged in the future.
You know, initially we held off because it was a little unclear whether we were going to find a city engineer, but I think as time has evolved, I think the mayor, and with Roger's announcement that he's planning on retiring later this year, that at that point there's probably going to be a position possibly created that would, you know, kind of take parts of these different jobs and kind of put them all in, into one type of position.
So a lot of what Nate did, a lot of what Roger does into one position, and it would be a position similar to Jeremy with the operations manager. It would be an elevated salary for that person. Then since we're taking 2 jobs, combining to one, we still would hire another assistant in addition to Sharon, most likely.
Right.
At least that's my thought.
So, you know, at that point, it's really, it doesn't fall under the city engineer position. So if we don't have a city engineer, then we got to change the composition. And it makes sense to do it now rather than wait later in the year. So, you know, I guess at this time,
You have something for us to sign?
well, I don't, but we'll do it on the record where if I'll just ask each of you if you're willing
By
to
motion.
resign, do it by motion that all,
But you have to promise that you'll accept the new appointment.
yeah.
Okay, I will make a motion for consideration that all the current Plan Commission members resign pursuant to the reorganization as a 7-member board.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any further discussion?
Let me remind all of you that you want to attend the next meeting, because if you don't, you might get railroaded into being an officer.
An officer?
You know that work out the BZA, you ain't here, you're gonna long as we're not being fired, because I've never been fired in my life.
No. Okay, if there's no further discussion, and I'm assuming that all of you are willing to resign, I hear no objections to that. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. So,
And I said it even though I don't normally
Yes.
vote, so it's part of it.
so, Sharon, at this point, since really there's no longer a planning commission,
We're done.
we're done. The meeting adjourned, signed, die, meaning without a motion. And so at this point, then this evening, the appointments putting you back on the planning commission will be made, and then we'll schedule a meeting 2 weeks from now when you will accept your appointments
Will
and
2
sign your
weeks
certificates.
allow adequate time to publicize the meeting?
Do we need to put a legal ad in since it's a continuation of this evening's meeting?
Well, it's not really a continuation. It's a new meeting, so you do need to get a legal notice in.
I'll give everybody a chance to review the Cross Creek stuff.
I was going to say, do we need to take this with us?
Or is this gonna
Even
come
though you're
up?
not a member.
This is something gonna come up on this, or?
Yeah, they're wanting to, open up another section back there in Shore.
Okay.
Yeah,